All right. We are get into a dynamic, faster paced practice today to channel our Leo season. We just kicked off here. Um, and in restorative backbending poses. So have a blanket, a bolster if you have it. I'm using a different kind of bolster. Or or two blocks. There we go. I don't have blocks, but if you have two blocks, that's great. A bolster, wonderful, or just a folded blanket. Um, and we'll work with what we have. So I'll give you all those options when we get there. We're going to start seated and get into the information here of what is happening in Leo season. This is a fire sign of authentic self expression. Come have a seat with me, get comfortable. If cross legs doesn't allow your hip flexors to soften and relax, sit on your shins instead. And then feel a little bit of internal spiral of the inner thigh, helping the lower back find its natural curve. The spine then uprights itself. And we give a little bit of tone around the core to support that structure. And then let your hands come palm down, helping to ground your energy. And settle in, coming to the practice to notice, how are we feeling today? Bear with me, I am not feeling very solid. I feel very spaced out as I only have a few more days left here in this house in Asheville, and I'm off to continue my journey into the unknowing. But we all might feel that whether we're stable at home in a job that we've had forever, and it just doesn't matter so much because we all have uncertainty in our life, right? So palm down, help to ground your energy, pull your layers together as you breathe more consciously. Just notice. Let your body tell your mind exactly how you're feeling. It's wiser. It's all knowing. And it holds the information from the past. It holds the true experience of the past, where the mind might cloud that through veils of insecurity and patterned behavior. In yoga, we talk about the three malas, that are ways in which we let our insecurities either cloud our perception of self and our innate greatness, telling us things that aren't true, that keep us in a place of maybe inactivity or letting fear prevent us from our heart's desires. This is what Leo is asking us to reflect upon: our self-worth, our self-esteem, the confidence we have to lay down our armor from past battles and let our authentic self-expression shine brightly into the world. Leo wants to be center stage. Look at me, I'm amazing. Right? So we're going to use this dynamic practice today to look at where the practice can show us where we don't try out of fear, where we get into negative narratives from our ability or perceived ability on the mat through our effort, and so many other things. So let's get started. In this posture, I want you to bring your hands over your solar plexus. Just notice how this feels. Relax the shoulders. Marley, you hear her groaning softly. Accessing our solar plexus will help us tune in to our power and the ways in which we give it away, what we want. When we are compromising our authentic expressions and our emotions to appease somebody else, or to reflect that inner limitation of what we think we deserve or can obtain. So start to slow your breath down and widen through the bottom ribs, hoping the diaphragm can lower and your hands can move with that expressive and expansion of breath. But don't force it. Just allow it by creating space in the rib cage. When we can create space in our lives to really feel, then we get that wisdom of what emotions tell us in ways in which we direct our actions. We talked about this a lot through the Cancer season practice last month and the Cancer new moon. Like, our emotions are our greatest teachers, and our emotions typically get poked at from interpersonal relationships. So taking that information forward now into our power of what we're going to do with it. This is Leo. And then that'll help us find some freedom and playfulness. This practice will also reflect that and some opportunity to get inverted, tap into the inner child. A lot of our limiting thoughts and old narratives stem from our childhood. So we want to be able to tap into that, find playfulness that will lead us to joy. And all of those things help build our self-esteem. So we walk more confidently in our skin. And again, not wearing a mask to appease others or society or any of that. So tapping into your solar plexus energy, how does it feel? Releasing the hands now to the knees. We're going to start some soupy rolls. My back just cracked like 5 times. So think of the bottom ribs. It's hard to see me in this light, but think of your bottom ribs, and of course wearing black, staying parallel to the ground as your pelvis shifts forward, side, back, side. So that this waistline space between the hips and the bottom ribs is starting to get more open and pliable. And of course, those are our deep transverse abdominis and also oblique muscles, other core muscles. So as we grind up this energetic pathway between hips and heart, right, that is the solar plexus, we start to understand how our relationships feed our inner person. My mind is like seriously cloudy today, right? So who are the people that are ourselves? Who are the people that ask us to be someone else? So as we move, think about these things opening up, bringing contemplation to physical action. Reverse your direction. Notice if it feels differently. Stir up the energy of the hips to pull it upward, bringing more awareness to who we are by looking at who we engage with. We tend to stay involved with situational people, whether it's intimate, friendship, work, that reflect how we feel about ourselves. All right, start to let the body upright itself with hands on knees, cow cat. Inhale, pull your heart forward through, looking up. Got more pops. Exhale, chin to chest, scoop the tail, drop. Into the rounding. Inhale, pull forward and up through. Exhale, round, drop in. Maybe eyes closed down as you journey into this movement of how rib cage and hips relate to each other. And again, how the heart can start to open up as well as the throat. Right? Living fully in life, that is Leo energy, and opening our self-expression with our voice and how we show up. So much energy here. All right, upright, left hand down, right arm up and over. Find that nice side stretch, but again, stay really connected to the solar plexus. So heavy the left shoulder, stretch straight through the right arm, wherever that goes. Try not to just let it be bent, so that there's this direct line of energy that is clear. And then feel from the solar plexus, ribs hugged into the spine, you can pull a little bit toward the ground and a little bit away from the ground. The subtle twist as we again open the waistline on the right side, right hip to right ribs. Let's take it over to the other side. Right hand comes down, bend the elbow, heavy the shoulder, stretch and reach straight through the left. Find your breath, pull into your solar plexus. Sometimes it's nice to roll the wrist and flick the fingers. Energy wants to move. And then maybe again, this gentle twist from the power center. Left hip crest to rib, opening the waistline, opening the bridge between interpersonal relationships, our relationships with passion and desire, and our habits that might be a little bit addictive, into authentic self-expression, which is unabashed by what other people want or think. Let's twist to the left. Body just brought me there, so let's catch up. You can look to your left shoulder. Inhale up to center, reach overhead. Exhale, twist right. Look to the right shoulder. Inhale, come up to center, reach overhead. Exhale, we're gonna bow, come over the ankles. That's what that body part is called, into tabletop. And then getting the whole body nice and warm. Quickly tuck the toes, lift the knees a little bit into this hovering tabletop. And as your hands anchor down and forward, pull your arm bones in. Down out of the ears. Sit the hips back a little bit more. Get into this challenging place of finding the physical edge of maybe not even, feeling confident to be there. My legs are starting to shake. How do we feel about this feeling? This is the season of asking this. Stay with it, find your breath. Hug through the core, squeeze through those bottom ribs. Keep really in line with the solar plexus energy. One more full breath. Lift up the hips, pedal out your dog. Give yourself a little time to feel how do the backs of the legs feel today. Where is there tension and restriction? Anything around the sacrum, deep in the pelvis, front of the hips. Go side to side a bit. So you're feeling the waistline stretching. Find your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From your hands, lift your armpits. From your ribs hugging in, send the tail up. Legs straight, heels back. Huge breath. We're going to move dynamically now. So inhale, puff up the upper back, widen through the shoulder blades and pull your shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhale, lower, bending elbows any amount. Inhale, push up, plank. Hips lift, downward dog. Take a breath here. Puff up the back of the heart. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, bend the elbows any amount. Inhale, press straight. Back up to dog, full breath. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, bend. Inhale, push up. Dog, full breath. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight. And back to dog, full breath. One more time. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Down dog. Lift the, cover the knees. Come back to this place. And then reflect. How did those chaturangas do? What did you say to yourself? How did you experience that in your body? And then what narrative, old story, limiting belief, negative Nancy showed up in your head? Lower the knees, bring the feet together, widen the knees as you sit back in child's pose, forehead to the mat. And deepen into the lower ribs, deepen into the back of the body as this, again, deeper reflection of looking through the lens of Leo. How do I feel? What does my heart say? What are the tender places that I shy away from seeing? What is arising? I'm swaying side to side. It just feels good to do that. Right? Like, let this practice today be guided by the wisdom of the body. So I'm just here taking you through some things, but if you find your body wants to do something, let it lead. And let that be a reflection of your heart. Leo is driven by the heart, by passion, desire, to be seen for our unique beauty and greatness. We also have Venus in retrograde right now, which is really spinning us inward to see and challenge what we value in our relationships, what we need and expect in our relationships. So look at these things as well. All right, we're going to start to pull ourselves back up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Huge breath here. Step the right foot forward, drop the left knee down. Bring both hands up to the right knee into Anjaneyasana. Feel heel and knee hug together so you're holding yourself up. You're not just collapsed down and passive. We're going to be really active here. And then from this idea of lifting up from the ground into the pelvis, hug the bottom ribs in, press into your knee, draw your shoulder blades back and down, and start to lift up through the chest. Chin into the throat to lift up through the gaze. Super strong legs. Exhale, frame the right foot, slide back to runner stretch. If you have blocks, I suggest using them. Still don't have blocks with me, it's a big bummer. But right foot flexes as you dig down to the right heel. Keep heel and knee hugging together. That squeeze to the midline. And then again, shoulder blades in and down the back, chin into the throat, finding neutral length in the spine to keep that and bow deeper over the right leg. All right, step down into the right foot. We're going to move back and forth. Hands can do whatever you want. So on your inhale, glide into the right knee. Exhale, straighten the right leg and bow. My hands can stay stationary, but yours don't need to. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. 3 more. Try to connect all those same things that we did when we held static. Muscular tone, engagement, reflection. All right, step into the right foot, tuck the left toes, step left foot to right, bow over both legs, strong and straight. Hands can be on legs or blocks or the floor. Send your weight forward, hips stack the heels, press through the big toe, lift the arches, lift your kneecaps, try to lift your sit bones, lift up through the bottom ribs, lift up through the shoulder blades to heavy the head. Shake your head yes and no. One more deep breath. Really tone those quads, helping the hamstrings relax. Soften into the knees, look forward, straight spine, inhale all the way up. Reach overhead, exhale, reach out all the way down. Knees can soften to keep the spine straight. Inhale, flat, squeeze midline. Pull through the central line of the body as shoulders drop and pull back. Chin drops and pulls back. We then rise through the heart from the hips, lifting that energy, opening to our personal power, our authentic self-expression, our emotional intelligence, to then let our light shine bright, to let our gifts be seen in the world, but also to allow ourselves to receive. We get really closed off behind all our armor from past battles. See if you can drop that. Just open up, maybe look up. Releasing hands to frame the left foot. Slide back to runner stretch. Stacking right hip on the knee, left foot hips width, squeeze again. Heel to knee, hug the midline. Find a good place for your hands so that your spine has length and it's neutral spinal curves. Right? Deepen into the breath. Deepen into this experience. Step down into the left foot. We're moving dynamically with the breath. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, slide back. 4 more times. Stay really engaged in the lower body to open the upper body. One more back. Come on forward. Tuck right toes, lift the knees. Step right foot to left. Bow over your legs. Soften the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment here in Tadasana. Hips on heels, neutral spine, relaxed shoulders, strong legs, open torso, open crown, open contemplation of what we feel here and now. Flip the palms down over the heart and set your intention around this energy of Leo and Venus retrograde. Who am I? What are my gifts to the world? How do I play with fear? Where do my insecurities show up? What are my values in relationships? And how do I find beauty in life? Let your exhale release the hands, release that intention. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, soften the knees to reach down. Flat back, straight legs, breath in. Exhale, step to plank. So with knees lifted or lowered, or you can go back and forth, we're going to shift a little bit forward onto the tips of the toes, shoulders a little forward of the wrists, squeeze midline, swoop the tail. Exhale, bend the elbows any amount. Inhale, press them straight. 3 more. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, hips square the floor, and pulse the right heel 5 times to the sky. Exhaling to nose, 1 full breath. Right foot steps forward, high lunge, arms up and overhead. Whew. All right, moving dynamically Set your feet hips width or wider, feeling stable and buoyant. Hug the midline, tone the left leg strong and straight. Inhale, right leg stretches straight. Exhale, lunge and cactus. Ribs hug in. 4 more. Find your drishti. Stay focused and engaged. One more. Inhale, right leg straight, arms overhead. Exhale, lunge, T, and twist to the right. Inhale, arms forward and up, legs straight. Exhale, lunge, T, twist. 3 more. Last one, twist. Inhale, stay lunged. Arms forward, up. Exhale, cactus. And just like we did with left knee down, we're going to do it with it up. Shoulder blades in and down the back. Ribs in, chin in. Curl open any amount. Inhale, straight up, hips to hands. Exhale, frame your right foot. Step it back to plank. Huge breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Pause. Hips down, heart lifts, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Forehead to hands or the mat. Hips to heels. Feel your heart rate settle. Feel your breath broaden. Feel body. What does it offer you? Look into the mind. How is it observing that? What is it saying about it? Be the witness here. We look back to reflect, not regret. We take lessons from all of our disappointments, all of our failures, pick ourselves back up, become wiser, hopefully. And then step out of the rut of patterned behavior and carve a new pathway. Let's do it on the other side. Inhale, bring yourself up to downward facing dog. Inhale the left foot up and back. Bend the knee, hips stay squared, and push 5 times up to the sky. On this exhale, lean the nose, pause a full breath. Look forward, step forward, arms overhead, high lunge. Take a moment to set your foundation. Broaden your feet wide, get buoyant and strong. Right leg, back leg, super strong and straight. Big breath in, straighten the left leg. Exhale, lunge and cactus. Ribs hung in tight. 4 more. All right. Inhale, arms straight, legs straight. Exhale, lunge, T, and twist left. 4 more. Knee stays bent. Left arm brings us forward and up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Hug midline. Chin, ribs pull in, shoulder blades in to curl open any amount. Inhale, straight up over the hips. Exhale, frame your front foot. Step to plank. Big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deepen into the breath. If you prefer to be in tabletop or child's pose, great options. One more standing dynamic sequence. And then we're going to get into some heart opening. Inhale, right leg up and back. Roll your hip open, bend the knee. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, cross to the left elbow. Inhale, roll it open. Come up on right fingertips. And stretch through the front of the hip in any way your leg wants to move. Right foot steps forward. Hands can be on blocks here or on the floor, front of your right foot. We're going to kick left leg parallel to the floor in a supported warrior three. Hands can be forward. So the spine is long and not hinged deeply over the right leg. We're going to bend both knees, and then right knee stays bent, left foot kicks up to the sky. All right, kick the right foot with the bent knee up to the sky, feel the glute, and then exhale, tuck the left knee behind the right. Inhale, right leg pushes straight as the left leg stays bent and up. One more like that. Exhale, pull it in. Right leg goes straight, left stays bent as you push your foot to the sky. Exhale in, inhale it up. Two more. Right, so options here are standing, split, walking the hands to the right foot, wrapping right arm around to pull yourself in, and extending the left toes more to the sky. You can stay there, or let's get into a little bit of our playfulness and fear. I'm just going to switch myself around to have a better situation here for handstand hops. So hands under shoulders, fingertips grip, straight arms. If shoulders are a little comfortable, front of the you might find more balance. And then give yourself some kicks. Maybe you just give a little hop. Let the extension and lift of your left leg get light on the right. So you're using more core. Or you can really give yourself a push. Arms stay straight, gaze fixated. Just take a few times. Access where you are, how you're thinking, how you're feeling about it all. And then let that help you decide accordingly. Woo! Hit that wall a little bit differently. When you felt like you've given it enough, we're going to come to Malasana. Feet together, knees wide, hips drop to heels, and rounded spine drops inside the thighs. Heavy the head. Breathe here in this little ball of reflection, rounding inward. Thinking about how you met the fear. Did you allow the fear to prevent you from trying? Just come into this expression of looking inward through the lens of Leo. When whatever your perception of that energy and effort is, challenge the negative limitations of insecure self-perception and send it love. So Buddha's practice of Maitri, radical self-love, showing yourself love in the deepest, darkest places. All right, let's go to the other side. So Let's come up to forward fold, straighten the legs, toning the legs, bowing in deeper, shake out the head. Soften the knees, straight spine, inhale all the way up to stand, reaching overhead. And exhale down to the heart. One nice breath here. Standing tall, proud, and open earth to universe. Hug into your solar plexus, feel the power there. Inhale, reach out and up. Take a sun A. Exhale, reach out and down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step, hop, walk to plank. Or maybe hop, chaturanga, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee. Roll it open. Explore, you can come up onto left fingertips. What movement helps open up the left side of your body? Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left elbow, knee to left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale to the right. Inhale it up. Exhale, step forward. Hands forward of the foot for supported warrior 3. Right leg kicks up. Bend both knees. 5 times, right foot to the sky. On this exhale, tuck right knee behind left. Inhale, right knee stays bent as the foot goes up, left leg goes straight. 4 more like that. Both bend, and just left straightens. One more. And here we go. Either staying, standing, split, working that edge. Planting the hands. Exploring the playfulness of your inner child. Working through confidence to lift. Meet your edge. Fight the fear. Do it on the mat. We're safe here. We have the wall to catch us. Then we'll be more able to meet the fear in our life off the mat. Take a little bit of time if you want it. We're going to meet in Malasana, garland pose. Giving our bodies an opportunity to soften into our tender hearts in our most challenging inner narratives. How do you feel about what you're feeling? Be the observer. Show yourself compassion. Video is going to guide us into self-love. Taking the veils of insecurities away so we can shine brightly in the world from center stage, happily viewed by others, without a worry or care of how they see us, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. All right. We're going to come into hero pose. And so it's a challenging pose for a lot. Try it with sitting on a block. I don't have a block. I don't need it though. So if you were going to use a block, we're going to sit on our shins, all 10 toes facing back, a block between the ankles, squeezing the block to sit on top of the block. If you're comfortable, you can not use a block and let your hips come inside the heels. The inner heel is touching the outer hip. And the knees can be a little bit separated. Don't drive them together. Make sure your knees are happy. If calf muscles feel like they're restricting you, just pull it straight back. Don't go out to the side, just straight back to make some space for the back of the knee. Try to connect all toenails to the mat and stay active. We're hugging midline. We have that anterior tilt, neutral spine. Palms down on the thighs, again, helping to ground our energy. Lift your arm bones up, squeeze your shoulder blades back, drop them down, give a little tone to the bottom ribs in. And again, just be here in this space with yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your own energy. Notice. Okay, so if we're gonna come into our first back bend. If hero and you hate this, sitting upright, you're gonna come into bridge pose. Feet on the mat, knees bent, laying back, lifting the hips up, propped on a block, a blanket, or a bolster, any prop. If you're gonna stay with me here in hero, your knees are happy, you feel pretty good. We're gonna hug the belly in and come down to elbows. See how this feels. If you're good here, you can stay here, and we're gonna just hang out for like another 5 minutes in our back bend. That would be great. I'm just gonna bring this underneath me so that I can comfortably relax into the shape and not have to hold myself up on elbows. Make sure that your neck is not really, really open. We want to try and keep the chin tucked in a bit and the arm bones sucked into the deep bottom of the socket toward those rib ribs. And just soften into the shape. Feel the ground beneath you, the support of the earth, the rhythm of your breath, and the vulnerability here to soften into your tender heart. It's exposed. Remembering our Cancer season asked us to return home to our feelings, to our families, to our inner safety. Leo is taking the crab out of its shell, exposing it to the elements. You are now asked to bring your tender heart to the world and show up with a brightness. And that comes from knowing, understanding, feeling, and emoting with compassion, without fear, without shame, without any criticism. Walking forward of it all with confidence and clarity in what direction we want to move. I'm going to stay 2 more minutes. Continually take inventory and help soften what is restricting. Help open what feels tight. And don't discredit or discount that might be a thought, a worry, a fear, an insecurity. So if in bridge, push into the feet, lift off your prop and come on down to your back. If here in hero with me, we're going to take our time to get onto the elbows, lift the head, get up onto the hands and lift the torso. We're going to meet those of you that were in bridge on the back, but from here in hero shape, we're going to slowly come forward, lift the hips, and just let energy come through the legs as you stretch one foot to the back of the mat, opening the knee, opening the ankle into flexion. It was extended. And then the other side. All right, so with those of you on your back, we're all going to bring our feet forward, but come up to sit and set up for another back bend. So those of us that were just in hero with a prop laying back, you might be able to now use a bigger prop because we're pretty much going to be in the same upper body shape with different legs. Our legs are going to be extended. If you were in bridge, I would suggest not going too high. I'm actually going to switch out my prop for this bolster. So you can use a bolster. In which if you do, my God, my words, we're going to try and get our, on the scapula here on the back of the body, there's a spine of the scapula. It goes horizontal, it kind of mimics the collarbone in the front. We want that on the ground, which may or may not take the top of the shoulder to the ground. But we want the scapular spine on the ground, neck and head on the ground, on the far end of the bolster or props. If you're using two blocks, I'm sorry I don't have them to show you, you're going to put a block underneath the shoulder blades on the ribs there and the back of the head. So, am I doing that wrong? Yeah, scratch that. With the bolster, we want head, neck, and rib cage on the bolster, hips on the ground. I said that in the reverse. So it's, sorry, I'm getting confused. So either two blocks under the sacrum, under the shoulder blades and the head to lift us into supported fish pose. There we go. That might help you. Or this bolster with ribs, head on the bolster. I'm just gonna lay back. So nothing is on the lower back. Make sure your prop is not on the lower back. It's on the lower ribs and especially the bottom corner of your shoulder blade. Then the back of the head with a second block, or again, the bolster is just bottom ribs all the way through. I like straight legs, a little bit wider than hips, but you can keep knees bent if that's better. Lift to one side, really squeeze that bottom corner into the back of the solar plexus there and let the palm drop open, and then do that on the other side. So the shoulder blades are really squeezing in and down the back to keep the arm bones set deep in the socket out of the heart space. And then again, chin into the throat to help us soften into grace with the parasympathetic nervous system. Chin into the throat helps stimulate our vagus nerve, which helps regulate our reactions to stress. So important there. And then soften in. We're going to be here 5 minutes. And just come back to those contemplative places of being a witness of how we think about how we feel and what we feel determining our actions and directions in life. Let Venus remind us what our values are, where we find beauty, how we relate in with each other, ourselves, and the world. And standing center stage, shining brightly in our authentic expression. We have a few more breaths here before we move. See if you can heavy your body even more, helping to brighten the heart even more. So depending on the prop you're on, we're going to first start by heading into the belly, supporting the spine, and bringing the feet back to the mat, bending the knees. Lift your head, wiggle the elbows in and underneath you to get up onto your elbows and then onto your hands. You're going to bring feet together, knees wide, grab a hold of the feet. You can bounce the knees. You can sway side to side, walking the sit bones back a little bit away from the feet to tilt the pelvis forward. And then give the arch of your foot a little love with some massage. Holding onto the feet, open them like a book, pressing the pinky edges together and widening the big toe edges, feeling the knees widen. Sit a bit taller as you pull up on your feet. And then potential exhale to fold if you want to. Gently rising back up, stretching the legs straight, taking your flaps out of the way. You can keep your knees back, coming onto the back. And ending with a nice twist. So right leg straight, scoot your hips to the left, bring your left knee up, twist it over to the right, and extend your left arm anywhere on the mat. Feel like your shoulder blades are flat. Your right hip is in line with your head, midline. Lower back is comfortable. Take a nice huge breath in this twist. Bring the left foot back to the mat, right to join it. Left leg straight, hips to the right. Right knee comes up to twist left. Open right arm anywhere on the mat. Feel like your left hip is midline with your head. Lower back is comfortable. Shoulders square and flat on the mat. Huge breath. Right foot back to the center, left to meet it, hips back to center. Give your knees a squeeze, give your lower back a little love on the mat, massaging it by moving your knees and legs in any which way. Then decide what shape you want to end in. Do you want supported Shavasana, something under the knees? Do you want legs up the wall, maybe hips up on the bolster or a block? Do you want to keep your feet wide on the mat, knees together? I'm going to take a folded blanket and stay in a very gentle back bend. So my folded blanket is going to be maybe an inch thick or less. Just switch this around. So, and as wide as my shoulders. So my hips and entire torso, not spine, entire torso, up to the top of the shoulders are on the blanket, neck and head are off the blanket. And that's what's making this a very gentle back bend. Again, sliding the shoulder blades in and down to just take the arm bone out of the heart. Any variation of legs to keep the spine happy and dropping in. We'll be here a good amount of time. So make minor adjustments as often as you need to continually drop in heavy into the back body, into the earth, helping to express light and freedom on the front side of your body. Opening to live with presence and heart, fully and wholly, allowing your life to expand your gifts, but also to receive from others. Scan to notice what's resisting. Are you pressing your body into the mat anywhere? Are you clenching your jaw or pushing your tongue forward? Scrunching your forehead? Soften, melt. Be held. You get even 10% more comfortable and hidden. Feeling the ground beneath you, the breath flowing back in wide in the bottom ribs. Let's take the palms down toward the solar plexus. Just check in. What energy is fueling your passion, your heart to live in your power, to see your brilliance and drop your armor. Start to make a fist and roll your wrists, flex and point your feet, roll your ankles. I like to bring my legs together, point my toes, arch the back, and stretch the arms overhead. Expand from your center. Maybe there's a little wiggle or a sway. Bringing the knees in for a squeeze when you're ready. Hug in. Let's roll to the right side. Your arm can stretch overhead so your head rests on your arm. Just feel your energy drop into the right masculine side of your body. The way in which you are going to assert yourself in the world, to take a step forward, to initiate change, growth, evolution beyond our patterns. Pressing yourself to sit when you're ready. Grab a prop, make yourself comfortable. So you feel equal parts grounded and lifted. Letting energy flow freely between heaven and earth, through you, crown to tail. Let's connect palm over palm on the heart, realigning with our worth. Let Leo light up your internal brilliance, that place deep within you that is always bright, always shining. It is life experience that dims our light, tarnishes our view. Peel away the layers, the malas of insecurity to see clearly. Then spread your wings. Take prayer, thumbs at the third eye, this is called. Inhale, lift that to the divine above. Exhale it to the heart, to the divine within. Follow your heart always. Let Leo help guide the way. The light in me sees, honors, respects the light in you. To you I bow. Namaste. All right, my friends. I hope that practice was helpful. I know I needed it. And I will see you soon.